just chilling. One thing I want to talk about towards relationships, huh? Not just relationships. I'm talking about towards courting today. Because one thing about back in the days when you court a woman, you court because you like her. It can turn into something big later on down the line. That's what courting was, courting. You ran across a woman, you didn't run across a lot of luggage. I'm sure we did that as probably in our late teens. I'm sure in our early 20s. We saw a beautiful young lady that we saw, a beautiful lady. She was something that we can court. Like, she's beautiful. I mean, I like her. I'm sure, fellas, I'm sure you ran across a woman where it's like, it just go on cruise, really, by proxy. You know that's the woman that you like. You see her. It's like an automatic connection. You run up and talk to her, you exchange numbers, da da da, you kick it with her. You take her out to You take her out for a dinner date, you kick her, and then you start spending time with her. Then you fall in love, all that boring stuff. You get involved with her for a while. Half the time it wouldn't be no bipolar stuff. Cause that's one thing I learned about a lot of these. I'm looking at today's dating scene. I'm looking at today's relationships. If a guy approaches a woman, chances are he's gonna run into a bipolar woman. He's gonna run into a almost a schizophrenic woman that has PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder, probably from the luggage from the past of guys that she dated. You're gonna run across a lot of women that need therapy. These women like this, you minding your business. You treat her with respect. You doing it the old school way. You courting her. You treat her nice. All this, but if anytime a woman don't like it when you treat them with respect, you treat them nice. Chances are, she got a lot of bones in her closet. She got skeletons. They say skeletons in her closet. That's what Eddie Murphy said in Raw. Women with skeletons in their closet. These is type of women where you show love to them, but there's some reason they don't want to receive it. I don't know, but really because they don't trust you because of the past deceptive men that they have been dealing with. That's what's going on. This is strange. I try to figure it out. I just analyze things. I analyze the dating scene. I analyze men dating women out here. I analyze it. It's like today, man, you dealing with a lot of women that need therapy. They need mental therapy. You dealing with a lot of bipolar women out here. Not all of them are bipolar. I'm just going by what I see on social media. There's some bipolar women out here. I'm starting to see some talk about, I see the gold diggers. Oh, a man got to have this and that, boy, you get involved with me. But the question I want to ask the woman, just tell the men they need to get their act together and get with them. What are you bringing to the table? That's something you got to do for yourself. Can't sit there talking about you want a man with some money, a high value man, and you don't have your stuff together. You got kids behind. I ain't no telling how many damn baby daddies. You talking about what you want from a man. I suggest try to make it work with one of them baby daddies. And shut up. That's what we living with today. And we dealing with a lot of These women out here, man, you just dealing with a lot of crazy mental illness. I don't know. There's a lot of these women today, they mentally ill. Because I can attest, man, the other day I was going through the mall. I say I got off work, I'm going to stop through the mall. Because, I had to, maybe they got a charge I can buy from my phone. You know how Macy's is. They got the clearance section. Right if they got the charge, right, get a charge out Macy's. Then I walk right past this Lacoste store. I like Lacoste's jumpsuits. I like that wear. Because you look at Lacoste. Lacoste is really like for men who play golf. It's golf attire. That's mostly what it is. But I was looking in there. I saw this lady. She had to be like, yeah, I'm looking at her like she had to be in her 50s. She had to be, 40s, 50s. I'm trying to get through the door. She walking slow, like she trying to get in my way. Then all of a sudden she gonna jump, like I'm trying to talk to her. And I told her plain blank. I said, "Lady, I'm not interested." She walked on looking stupid. I'm like, man, what is up with these women today? What's up with this? Well, I don't know if it's some PTSD what she be dealing with, but I look at some of these women out here that got that old PTSD disorder. Like I said, post-traumatic stress disorder. Maybe they tried to make this up available to some of these sociopathic men out here, and they hurt them or whatever. They took them through some mess. I'm like, I'm not one of them. I see that right now. I just see women with PTSD out here. Minding my business. Ooh, they move somewhere else. I'm like, these women out here are crazy. I'm just going to be real. These women today are just weird. They crazy. They need therapy. I guess Kevin Samuels was right when he was doing them interviews. I see what he was talking about, because I remember they used to, I don't know if they trying to get attention, because I remember they used to call Kevin Samuels' show trying to get attention just to find an argument. Because see, you look at a lot of them women like that, they are single women. They don't have a man in their life, in which I see why they don't have a man in their lives. Because a man probably got tired of dealing with them. So they try to go out here and find a random man they can argue with. That's what's going on. They try to find a man they can argue with to get it off their chest. Like I said, these women today need therapy. I don't like denigrating women. I don't like denigrating single women. When I talk about single mothers, I don't like that term single mother. I just say irresponsible mothers. Okay, because they single. They just say irresponsible mothers. It's one thing Kevin Samuels had bad. He was talking as single mothers. Nah, bro, rest in peace. But, you got that wrong. Really irresponsible mothers. Irresponsible women. It's just irresponsible. Just being irresponsible. That's all it is. About their life, about their body, dating all these different men out here. The same thing for guys. You going out here and dropping your seed in different women. And you're not there for the woman when she get pregnant. Then you wonder why you dealing with child support problems. That's one thing I don't understand about some guys today. It's like they get these women pregnant. They want to go up in everything they see. I guess it's a thing where it's like they feel cool if that's a notch in their belt. If they start messing with different women, then they get them pregnant, then you think they wrong because they ask for child support. I'm like, fool. When you get a woman pregnant, you really like living like a husband married to your wife. You got to take care of the babies. But I guess all that's going to change. You look at what's coming up this week. Now you're talking about SNAP benefits getting cut, all them cuts. See, that's why they better wake up. See, that's one thing I kind of look at with I don't think about the feminist movement back then. You look at probably 64, they started giving black women, not 64 allegedly, I got to look it up. They started giving women government benefits to have babies. It seemed like Uncle Sam became the baby. It seemed like Uncle Sam became the husband in the household to the black woman. That's what happened. It's like they got them thinking that they don't need a man. And see what happened? The white feminists infiltrated black women, black single mothers. They infiltrated black women. Oh, you don't need no man. You don't need this. That's what happened back then. If you look at a lot of women back then, the woman who came up with that feminist movement, she was married herself. A lot of these feminists out here are married white women. They gonna go right back home to their husbands while they telling you to leave your husband. And they put that feminist ideology inside of you. And you wonder why you all alone. It's just a strange program out here. A strange program. Try to figure it out. Like, man, it's just crazy out here. Like I say, the dating scene, it's not the way it used to be back in the day. It's not the same. It's crazy. It's crazy today. Everything used to be so private back then. Now it's all now it's out in the open. Look at some of these women. Half these women, they looking for simps. They looking for yes man. They looking for the subservient man. That's what they looking for. They not looking for the man. They not looking for a husband. They're not looking for a provider. They not looking for a king in the hut. They not looking for a king to run this castle. They looking for a subservient simp with feminine qualities. That's what they looking for. And some of these brothers out here, y'all just make it bad for other brothers out here. Y'all make it bad for the alpha males. Y'all make it bad for the real husband out here, for the good men. Y'all make it bad. Because y'all get involved. It's like y'all get involved with some of these PTSD, okay, women that need therapy for nothing, probably because you want some. Can't live by that, because that means, like Pimper Ken said, you tend up under the zipper. You let your other head rule your mind, rule everything. You wonder why you're in the mess you in as a man. That's what's going on. Like I said, I don't know what's up with women today. I'm talking about black people. Talking about foundational black American people. I ain't talking about Africans. I'm talking about us. I'm talking about the ones that's born on this soil. I'm talking about ones that they have birthrights from slavery. That's where we from. We foundational black American. I'm talking about what happened. A lot of these young ladies today, man, they listen to their bitter mothers, have their mothers are single, irresponsible mothers. They giving them the wrong advice. It's like they let their daughters down. They giving them bad advice. And they get out here, they take it out here in the world. They start getting involved with guys with no advice on how to handle relationships without asking questions. Then they get involved in a bad situation. Then they left with a kid. And what's messed up today, these women think having kids without a husband is normal. They think you're supposed to have kids without getting married is normal. It's not normal. The guys out here, these dudes, that tell the brothers, hey, you getting married, you having babies out of wedlock as a man, that's not normal. That is not normal. That's one thing about me. I don't have any kids. I believe in marriage before I have kids. I've always thought that way. That's why I don't have kids. These brothers out here don't think that. They just irresponsible when it comes to a lot of women. These women are irresponsible when it comes to the men. Can't blame nobody. We can only create our own problems. We can only create our own downfall. That's what's going on today. Is why there's a lot of women today need therapy. They need therapy. It's crazy right now. It's just crazy. This generation is going down the this generation is going down the toilet. As they think I'm looking at polyamory. Polyamory is not normal. Man, as a man, I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to be in no polyamorous relationship, polygory, whatever they call it. Poly. I don't want to be in that. It, it's head. You got no problems with one woman, a nagging wife. Why would you want to deal with two nagging wives? Why would you want to deal with? It's messed up when you dating one woman. Why would you want to put up with two, three women coming at you at once? Hell no. I don't want that. Not unless they egotistical, not unless they narcissists. Oh, I got these many women. Oh, I got two women on my side putting a notch on their belt. I tell you what, you better have the money to pay that child support. It look good on TV. It looks good on Tubi TV. You see that all the time. You promoting open marriages on Tubi TV. I see with a lot of independent film on there. They promoting polygory, open marriages, open relationships. To me, that's stupid. These women into that now. Men into that. This young generation into that poly stuff. Yeah, I can do it. Because I know the guys that was going around making babies with different women. I see a lot of them. Man, they living in a hotel by themselves. They ain't paid child support. It's like they living in a hotel by themselves. They ain't even dealing with no women. They walking with a walker. Half of them drug addicts and alcoholics. That's what it leads to. Because that's not life. Life is when you have a one marriage, you won in marriage. When you get married, you become one. You have a family. You have kids. You create a lineage. You teach your kids morals and values, or how to be a family, and you pass it down to the next generation. You teach them finances. You teach them how to carry themselves, where they can teach their kids how to carry themselves. Now it's going out the window. And one thing about it, people don't say nothing. People quiet about it. I guess we in the end times. That's what it is. We in the end times. As we say, men become lovers of themselves, boastful, arrogant. They don't know right from wrong. You got to read the scripture on that. Wrong seems right to them. Right seems wrong. That's what we living in right now. To be honest with you, living a life full of degeneracy and saying that's not healthy. There's a road that seems right to a man, but it ends up in death. That's what's going to happen. It's going to end up in death. But it's a road that's bumpy, that's uncomfortable, but it leads to the glory of God. Either we live in blessed or we living in a curse. Which one do you want? I ain't blaming you because my life ain't perfect either. But you know what? I want to be blessed. Because, the most neglected thing in our mind, I guess the most neglected thing is when we neglect our mind. We neglect our spirit, our soul. We neglect that. We neglect our happiness. We think we need this and that to be happy. But, you look at relationships and all that stuff. Oh, I had the money, relationship to women and all that, or the women say the same thing. That's not going to bring happiness. Oh, we can love ourselves. I think people that don't love themselves, they pursue them type of relationships out here. They pursue the poly relationships. They pursue going out here and slutting around, hoeing around. That's what they do. They pursue that sexually promiscuous lifestyle. They pursue that. They pursue changing their sex. They pursue doing all that debaucherous stuff out here. That's what they do because they hate themselves. If you hate yourselves, when you hate yourself, you know you can't get married. I mean, if your marriage is out the question. I guess like in our society, Western culture, we dealing with, marriage is totally different in this country. Is I guess there's one wife, but all that other junk. But looking at other countries, the Eastern culture, they train them daughters at an early age. They prepare their daughters, and women are taught to receive their husbands. I guess it's a different thing. They're taught to be wives. I guess like the Bible says, Adam and Eve, like, okay, a woman's purpose here on this earth is to be a wife. All that other stuff that leads to mess. It leads to downfalls. Anyway, whatever. I ain't finna get off into all that.